solid bags, they can actually be a deadly effective method of fishing throughout the autumn and winter, in fact throughout the year. I tend to favour them more in the winter and on highly pressured waters. Now I'm going to show you how I make mine. Firstly, I use these solid bags. I actually use the large from CYGNET, and as you take them out you actually get 25 bags, and then you actually get a loader. So let me just take a bag, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get the loader and just roll it up. What this allows me to do is once I put it into the bag, when it's opened, it expands back out, but it actually grips onto the bag. Ooh. Right, so if I can get that open there, just going to insert this into the top, like so. Just start, I tend to take it about halfway, and this will give me quite a good grip onto the bag. And into this, I'll just tend to put only a small amount of a ground bait. You can use stick mix ground bait. I tend to use a fine sort of ground bait powder if I can, because then obviously this enables obviously the hook bait which you're going to put into the bottom to not attach itself to any larger items, so the hook point could actually penetrate. On doing that, I've then got a rig which I use. I actually use the CYGNET soft coated braid, and I actually leave the bit to the hook there, I actually leave it coated. And what I'm going to do is I'll drop this into the bag, keeping the bait to one side, and then the counterweight I tend to drop the other side, and if you can see that. And on top of that I would actually put a little bit more ground bait. This actually just holds it and gives it like a little firm foundation to keep the hook bait from not moving around too much. So that's the bottom, and you know that in there, you know you've got your hook bait and your balance weight sitting nicely. Into this, I'll then just add a few pellets. Don't drop them all on the floor. And I'll just give it a bit of a squeeze around. Now with these bags, they're actually quite thick, but they dissolve very quickly. And this allows me, I find, that when you're seeing them in it, when I tie it, I actually pull it down and then twist. So this is actually sort of like stretching the PVA, but once you've twisted it and you let go, it contracts back up. So this actually makes the bag a bit tighter. So I'm just going to add a few more pellets in there. So, and then I'll just put a little bit more ground bait on top of that, like so. And then what I do, obviously I haven't got the line attached to this yet, because this is just one I'm actually making up. Then what I do is I grab the bag and I'll just give the lead a little bit of a push down. This now is what you're actually doing, is compacting the pellets and the powder. But try and keep the lead kind of central to the bag, because if you keep the lead at the top, once you fly, you just have quite a major wobble. So I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going to top it off inside with a few more little pellets, and then that'll be the bag done. So what I'm doing is having pellet and a ground bait. It's giving off all different food signals, especially if you want to inject a liquid in there. Like so, I tend to inject a food source because it's heavy, so it sit around sort of the lake bed with the bait, and then maybe hemp oil or a food liquid, not a food source bait. And what that actually does, because you've kind of got a heavy liquid and a lighter liquid, that when it's actually in the water column, you've kind of got the heavy food source liquid and then the light, and it just kind of just balance out, and it'll keep the attraction throughout the bag. Now this is the bit that I tend to like doing. Once you got it down, give it a bit of a squeeze, and you've got it all down there, like so. And I tend to grip the top, and then give it a twist, give it a pull down and a twist. And that's already kind of got the bag tight. Now holding onto the PVA, just moisten the top, and then you can actually push as you open it up. Just push the loader back down. And as you let go, you've actually formed like a cap. Like so. There you go. And all I tend to do, if I'm fishing the margins, I don't really tend to fold the edges in. I only tend to do that, it gives more dynamic for a bit of distance casting. But trying to get as much air out, so what you want to do is just pinch the corners in. Give it a lick, a stick, hold it for a couple of seconds, which just allows that PVA to set in. There you go. And I'll just do the same with the other side. There you go. There you go. And that's a solid bag all ready. So then what I'll do is I'll just get the main line, tie a big loop in it, thread it through the eye of the stem, and then just drop the bag through the loop, and then pull, and it's already done. And all you've got to do is just make a few of these up in your bag. But like I say, what you can do, I haven't got one handy, is just normally just inject you a bit of liquid. As you see, 2 PVA bags ready to disperse into the water. I'm sure if you put that into your armoury in the winter, autumn, like I say, inject a bit of liquid, which hopefully put some more bites on the bank.